Hello everybody, so in today's video we're going to be exploring the Maurice Leslie Classic Car Auction up at Errol Airfield. We're going to do a different format of video. We're actually going to get to drive 4 cars, Citroen Saxo Diesel, a Rover 618, a Mk1 Fiesta and a Mk1 Golf GTi, and then we're going to do just a static walk around of all my other favourite ones in the show. So put in the comments what ones you like and I hope you enjoy it. Look, sun's out and we've got a Mk1 Fiesta. So this one, it's a 957cc one and it's an L. It's fitted with super sport wheels, obviously they weren't standard. I think it does come with steel wheels, 16,000 miles. I mean, that's just unreal, isn't it? Lovely kind of cream beige colour. Not to everybody's taste, I personally think it suits it really well. You know, if it was me, I would probably put its original wheels back on it. These do look cool. But I think there's something about a base spec model looking totally original. But yeah, I mean, look at the condition of this thing. The wee chrome mirror there, you know, round the front, beautiful. Chrome bumper there. I guess you guys might not have seen it, but I have recently done a Mark IV Cortina. Similar kind of look at the front to the Cortina. But yeah, these things, these are just iconic. You know, very first Ford Super Mini. Put in the comments if you disagree. Lovely thing. I mean, and then look round the back again. Quite similar to the Mark II round the back. So Fiesta L. You've got these wee chrome badges, chrome bumper there, wee chrome trim on the exhaust. I mean, the exhaust's tiny. I mean, that's probably about 1.5 inches. But yeah, really suits it. This one's fitted with a rear wash wipe. You've got your rear fog light up there and your reversing light. But yeah, it's just so cool. So let's take a wee look inside. Now, the interior is beautiful, which you've probably seen from earlier in the video. Check this out. Look at that. How can you not like that interior? I mean, there's nothing more 70s than this. So I'll sit in the back so we can actually get a better view of the dashboard. Right, so check that out. That is super cool. So yeah, you've got your speedometer there, obviously your fuel and your temperature gauges. And looking around the centre here, you've got all your heater controls, your hazard lights, your rear wiper and heated rear window switch. But how cool is this interior? Beautiful condition. Then looking up there onto the headlining as well, that perforated headlining. What a car. And no headrests on these seats, but check out the condition of that. Wow. I mean, it's amazing. I would have really thought something this age, you know, these would have all deteriorated. Loads of old cars like this along the top, all the material just deteriorates and comes away in your hand with age. But look at this. It is stunning. So, I love that. 4-speed manual as well, obviously in that one. But yeah, what a find this is. Let's take a wee look under the bonnet. And these open from the back. You've got that wee 957cc engine in there. It does actually look tiny in the engine bay. Look at all this space you've got around here. You know, a gearbox. You can get right into it. That is proper cool. Tiny little airbox. I mean, that's just so nice. I just love all this. I'll just love the layout of all these. Proper easy to work on. Simplistic motoring. Does look pretty solid, this one, doesn't it? Looking round the bulkhead, looking round the suspension tops. It's a great wee car, and there's a wee clue as to why I think that this one has survived so well. If you come round here and have a wee look, you can see wee blanking plugs there where it was probably injected with wax oil or something similar back in the day. So yeah, so that's interesting. That's probably been why it's been preserved so well. I mean, it's probably been garaged as well, don't get me wrong, You wouldn't be able to leave this outside, and then it's in this condition how many years later for a 1980 car. When was the last time you saw a 44-year-old Super Mini? Beautiful, so proper thumbs up from Retro Ratchet team for this one. Right, now this is exciting. Mk1 Fiesta. So all you Ford fanboys out there, what do you reckon to these then? So this one, 16,000 miles on the clock. Now there can't be many Fiestas with 16,000 miles on the clock, never mind a Mk1. But yeah, what a pleasure it is to finally drive something like this. I do remember in the family we had a silver Mk2 back in the very early 90s that I used to play about with quite a lot when I was a kid, but never been out in a Mk1. Of course, Mk1s, that's the one to have, isn't it? Lovely. This one I think spent around 40 years of its life down in Brighton area, so down on the south coast. So that's probably why it's so well preserved. It hasn't been subjected to the Scottish weather, which is a plus point. And as you would expect, obviously manual choke on something like this. The car is still warming up, yeah, so I won't be putting my foot down in it too much. But it drives lovely. Look at that, smooth as. And I think that's the thing with a low mileage classic car like this. You know, it is going to drive nice. It's like stepping back in time driving something like this. But how cool is this? Sunny day and we're in a Mk1 Ford Fiesta with 16,000 miles on the clock. So that's not something that happens every day. We'll just take this one home. We've left the Volvo in the car park. This has to be worth more than the Volvo, so yeah, maybe we'll just make a run for it. Saying that, it doesn't have a great deal of petrol in it, so we wouldn't get very far. The steering's very light on this as well. It's going to have manual steering, non-power assisted, but it is very, very light. But I guess these things probably only weighed about 700 kilos. But you could imagine a Mk1 XR2, how much fun one of those would be with a 1.6 litre engine in it. Now, this is a real pleasure to drive. Turning circle on it. Turns so well. Usually cars without power steering, they're difficult to manoeuvre around town, but yeah, this thing, I mean, look how light that is. Bizarre. It's spot on, this one. I really like that. What a find though, one with this mileage on it. Right, what's the conclusion on the Mk1 Fiesta? What do we think? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. So is this the coolest car that we've actually reviewed? It's probably one of the oldest cars, 1980, but it's full of all this 70s design. You know, the exterior, the seats, they're lovely, and the condition of this one. So I never thought I would get the opportunity to drive a Mk1 Fiesta. And yeah, it's just so nice. I thought it would have been a little bit more agricultural to drive than it actually is, but it seems a lot more modern. So that's weird, but what a car. So put in the comments, what do you think of Mk1s? Have you owned a Mk1? Are they cool? On to the next one. Here we have a Mk1 Golf GTi. So we want to see how it drives? Stay tuned. This is why I'm grinning. Mk1 Golf GTi. What do you think? How cool is this? Right, let's get into this one. 1983 1.8 Golf GTi. Beautiful. I mean, do I even need to say any more about it? Look at it, it's absolutely stunning. White really, really suits these. 92,000 miles on the clock. Looks like the original wheels. These are just gorgeous. I didn't actually think I'd get the opportunity to review one of these so soon. But yeah, check this out. Look around the back. You've got this lovely black styling there around the window. Golf GTi badge. And these big plastic bumpers on it. And they do kind of suit it pretty well. Single exhaust there. But yeah, these are just one of the most iconic 80s cars ever made, alongside the likes of the 205 GTi, and obviously the Maestro Turbo. Maestro Turbo was the best, of course it was. But yeah, this is really nice, this one. And then getting round the front here, that totally identifiable, you know, nose on them. GTi, you've got the red surround on the grille, driving lights in the middle, and you've got that wee spoiler down the bottom. Proper cool. Right, let's have a wee look under the bonnet. What have we got here? So it should be a 1.8 8 valve, if I can find the thing. There we go. Yep, 1.8 8 valve. Tons of space under here as well. Fuel injected. I think it's probably a Bosch Jetronic, KE Jetronic. Put in the comments, I'm not an expert on Mk1 Golfs, because I'm surprised I even got a chance to review this one. But yeah, fuel injected, and I tell you what, it drives really, really nice. It pulls, it's really, really torquey. I was surprised about that. Put your foot down in second gear, low revs, and it's off. God, it's kind of like a turbo diesel, the way that it actually picks up. But yeah, all the power kind of where you want it. Looks in really good condition, this one. Nice wee detail, would have this looking like new. Round the suspension tops and stuff. Yeah, they do appear to be pretty solid. Yeah. So, looks like a decent motor, this one. Let's have a wee look inside. See what we think of the interior. Check those seats out. How cool are they? And they are very comfy. Yep, they fit me spot on. You know where I'm going with this review, don't you? So yeah, lovely, I like this. Heavily bolstered seats here to keep you in when you're cornering fast. Quite a big steering wheel. Driving position is actually pretty decent. Clutch, decent amount of weight on that clutch there. 5-speed manual, and let's have a look at that dashboard. Now the dashboard on this is proper cool. Wait till you see this. So look, you've got a mile per gallon indicator up the top there with a wee LED in the middle. Obviously speedometer and rev counter, looks like it red lines at 6,500. A wee fuel computer down the bottom. I mean, how cool is that? And these little LEDs for the other warning lights there. Looks like an original period radio cassette in it. I don't know if that's what they originally came with. They probably did. It looks like the correct period. And we've got some extra dials down the bottom there. A voltmeter, looks like an oil temperature, and that's probably an oil pressure. I don't know if they were added on or not. And then that distinctive gear knob there, that kind of golf ball style one. But yeah, this is a really nice place to be in here. Let's take a wee look in the back. Yeah, great condition in there as well. Check those seats out. Headlining on this one, it's like vinyl. It's in great condition, and you have a manual windy sunroof. But yeah, this is an absolute cracker. This is definitely one to take home with you, I think. Right, let's see how this drives. We do have a faulty wee warning buzzer to contend with, but that isn't going to distract me from the excitement of driving a Mk1 Golf. Barring the faulty warning buzzer, the engine in this thing sounds lovely. So, 5-speed manual, clutch is pretty heavily weighted on it, quite a lot of throw on the gears, which is typical of Volkswagen of this age. Now, I did have an early Scirocco once, and I thought it might drive the same as that, but it isn't. The driving position does seem quite a bit different, and this is certainly a good bit quicker. That was a 1.88 valve as well, but it was a carb rather than an injection. But this is certainly a lot of comfort to sit in. It's a lot nicer driving position. The steering seems to have a decent weight in it, and it's all torque, this one. You put your foot down, 3,000 to 4,000, picks up so well. Yeah, it just drives lovely. Proper puts a smile on your face, this one. You don't even need to go crazy in it, you know. 3,000 to 4,000 revs, just ride that torque curve. And you make great progress. But what a fun car this is. You know, nice sunny day in a country road. You definitely have some fun with this thing. So what's our conclusion on the Mk1 Golf GTi? Well, I'd be lying if I said I didn't like it. I mean, what a cool, iconic car. Like I said, I only had a short amount of time to drive it today, but I tell you what, you could imagine on a country road you could have a lot of fun in this thing. I like the fact it's really torquey. You don't really need to rev it to get the car to move along. Really nice engine note and exhaust note off of it. And I suspect these probably handle really well. So put in the comments if you own one, tell me what they handle like. Seating position for me was really, really great. The only thing that wasn't to my specific taste was the gears, the gear change on it. I think that's just what they're all like. Certainly that Scirocco I had, there was quite a lot of throw in the gears. So that would be my only negative on Golf GTIs in general. But look at the appearance. What is there not to like about a 1980 Golf GTI? You know, it just looks spot on. If it were mine, I might probably put a few more wee red details on it, you know, a couple of red stripes or something, not too chavvy. Just take it out and enjoy it. Put in the comments what you think of this one then. Add to the fleet or not. A year 2000 Citroen Saxo. Now, these things used to be 10 a penny, big spoilers, body kit, big bore exhausts, massive wheels, and peculiar paint colours back in the day. But what we've got here is a completely bog standard 1.5 diesel, which is actually pretty rare. So this one is a two-owner car. It has a low 54,000 miles on the clock, and it looks in spectacularly good condition for one of these. So what we'll do is we'll do a wee walk around, we're going to take it for a wee drive and let you see what a standard diesel one of these is actually like. Right, so this one, obviously a 5-door, fitted with its original wheel trims, which I think must be pretty rare, seems to be in really decent condition. I mean, standing back, there's no big rust spots, no holes, things like that. So for a French car of this era, I think that must be pretty rare. No spoilers in this one, as you can see. Still got all its original badging. Exhaust, well, there will be one hidden up there. Not one sticking out the back. This side's pretty much the same. And as you see, I mean, I think it looks in pretty decent condition. I mean, those sills all look mint. So a wee bit of a backstory on this one. It was bought by the first keeper as a present to himself for his 80th birthday, then passed into the hands of his son, who's the current keeper, and it's been looked after ever since. So I believe it drove all the way from Aberdeen down to the auction here in Errol. So yeah, I mean, it does look like a really good example. So around the front, I think this is a facelift one, so it has a slightly different grille on it. Pretty tidy. This one's fitted with fog lights. Now we'll take a wee look under the bonnet. Powerhouse of a 1.5 diesel. I think the earlier ones were 1.4 diesel. This is a wee bit of a marking on here, February 24, which I don't know if that's oil and filter. It's got O and F written on it. I thought it might have been a cam belt number. But yeah, I think all of these diesel engines of this generation, there was a lot of pipe work and hoses and things on the front of them. It's not like new diesels that just have a plastic panel over everything, but plenty of space to work on this one. You know, after a wee clean up, this would probably come up like new. Looks very, very original and unmolested, this one. So we'll start it up and see if it has that diesel rattle. There you go. That's not too bad, is it? Yeah, sounds pretty decent actually, I think. Next, let's take a wee look at the interior in this one. So these seats are immaculate. Looks like they've never actually been sat on. And check that out, check that velour. They usually do wear around here on the driver's side, but that one, yeah, it's like a brand new car. Same with these door trims. Dashboards, let's take a wee look at that. My favourite part of a car. Let's turn that on. There we go, wee glow plug light there. It's been a long time since I've driven a diesel of this generation. Rev counter, temperature gauge, and that actually shows you there the oil level. So that's quite quirky, isn't it? So that was at maximum petrol and engine temperature. So quite cool. We've got a grey colour to those dials as well. Instruments, and then the controls, on these are all pretty basic. No aircon as you would expect, just your fan. heater controls there, and it looks like a standard Citroen stereo. 5-speed manual gearbox. It's actually fitted with electric windows, this one. Yeah, we'll see if it's got central locking in a minute. The rest of the interior is actually pretty mint. Let's have a wee look in the back. So check the condition of these seats out. They look totally mint. Probably never ever been sat in its life. I've just noticed up there as well, we have a manual sunroof. So yeah, I mean, it's fairly well spec'd, this one. And I tell you what, these seats are super comfy. Yeah, I quite like these. I mean, there is just enough legroom for a short person like me, but that's all right. Yeah, quite like that. So manual windy windows in the back there. Let's take this for a wee drive, see what it's like. Glow plug lights are off. There we go. Something nice about these older diesels. And this one's fitted with power steering as well, so super light to drive. Be really good round town, I reckon. And these are naturally aspirated, so no turbos on these ones. I think they've got in the region of 60 brake horsepower. Right, so we're only getting a wee drive of this one today, so we're not going to be able to do a full review on how it feels, but let's take it over some bumpy ground here and see what the suspension's like. Well, I'm not picking up any nasty clunks or knocks off it. Drives pretty straight. Obviously not a powerhouse, only being naturally aspirated, but they do have a decent amount of torque. I guess the thing about these is you're probably going to get really good mile per gallon out of these. I'm sure I'd read somewhere, you know, a steady 50 odd mile an hour, it was in the region of 70 mile per gallon, so a really cheap and frugal car to run. Will we see how quick it is? So we're probably not going to take it all the way to 60. So I mean, it is not the quickest car in the world, as you would expect. What it loses in outright performance, I think it would make up for in running costs. You know, cheap road tax, efficient on fuel, which is what you want these days, and it's actually quite a pleasant wee car to drive. Clutch seems alright in this one. It's actually quite a long pedal throw on these. This is the first Saxo that I've actually driven. So it's interesting to see what it's like. Yeah, I didn't have one back in the day with a big spoiler and body kit and loud exhaust on it, unfortunately. But I think the 1.5 diesel, I think the diesels are pretty rare. You didn't see many of them. It was mostly VTRs, and if you were lucky, a VTS. But yeah, so quite a long throw in the clutch. Same with the gears. The gears all feel reasonably tight actually. 2,000 revs, floor it. Yeah, so it's pretty torquey. That pulls away okay. One thing you do notice is you've got very small pedals in it. I do happen to have quite small feet, but I'm just looking down there. The pedals are positioned quite close together. That driver's side one, yeah, so I wouldn't be wearing any big shoes if I was driving this. That would be quite tricky, but yeah, it's definitely a pleasant wee car to drive. Wonder if I should maybe put a wee bid in it tomorrow. I'll have to wait and see. I'm sure we could find a use for it. So what do you think? Retro enough or not? So what's my likes and dislikes on this wee mini review we've done on the Citroen Saxo? Well, I was actually pleasantly surprised with the driving position. I had read that they weren't particularly comfortable to sit in, but this one, yeah, I think this was actually pretty decent. Condition of this particular example, I mean, 50 odd thousand miles, year 2000, so I mean, it's hard to believe that this is actually a 24-year-old French super mini. But yeah, I like the fact it'd be cheap to run. It's very easy to live with. It's got power steering, electric windows, so a decent level of kit in it. So it'd be a great little town car. Things I dislike, well, you know, it would be better with a turbo, wouldn't it? It would be a lot faster. But in the context of what we've got here, most of them back then, like the Metro, some of the early Corsas didn't have turbos on them either. Ford Fiesta, that was a 1.8 naturally aspirated. So I think in line with what was out then in the early 2000s, it's quite a decent package. Put in the comments what you think. I'll see you all for the next one. Car number 2 in the mini review series today. This is a very late model. It's a 618IL. So this is one fitted with a whole load of kit and a lovely leather interior. So this was Rover's answer to the Ford Mondeo in the mid-90s. I guess probably didn't really replace the Montego. It's a good bit bigger than a Montego, but this particular one is lovely. 73,000 miles on the clock, 17 stamps in the service history. Looks like it's been well cared for. What do you think of the condition of this? I think we should start with a wee look under the bonnet, because I'm sure these are Honda engines in these. Certainly when it started up it sounded like a Honda engine. Definitely looks like a Honda 1.8 to me. Put in the comments if it isn't, but yeah, it's definitely not a Rover engine, this one. So this, I guess, is going to be super reliable. You know, Honda engines of that generation, you know, they just ran and ran and ran. I had a few Honda engine cars myself, but yeah, 1.8, 16 valve. Plenty of space under this bonnet as well. Again, this one probably just needs a wee clean up. You could do quite a lot with this in terms of detailing under the engine bay, but yeah, so that's definitely a positive that we have a Honda unit under the bonnet. It's 5-speed manual as well, this one. Right, let's take a wee look at the bodywork. My view, they're quite understated, these Rover 600. It was like when the Rover 200 came out, understated looks, but they do have an air of quality about them. Lots of chrome trim around the windows there, colour-coded door handles, colour-coded body side mouldings. And this looks like original set of wheels, 15-inch alloys on it. Single exhaust on these ones. Can't remember if they were usually twins or not, but this one's got a single on it. Just badged as 600. Chrome trim round there. Looks like an electric aerial will be fitted on that as well. But yeah, what a nice car. And they are a really rare sight these days as well. Yeah, I quite like this one. Might have to put a cheeky bid on this one. See if we win it, see if we can add it to the retro ratchet fleet. So it's got a distinctive Rover 90s front on it with this grille here. Does look quite sleek with those small headlights, colour-coded bumpers as well. No fog lights on this one. But yeah, it's a really nice looking car. Look quite classy, I think. Very similar style to the Audi A4 that I've got. I think it's in fact probably the same colour. Right, let's take a wee look inside. Rovers this generation were always very luxurious, and this one is no different. Look at this cream leather interior. I have to say this is really nice inside. It's like a proper executive car. So yeah, you've got this lovely cream leather upholstery on the seats here. You've got the walnut on the dashboard there, and this particular one's got the lighter colour dash on it, the light cream, which I think suits it really well actually. Black steering wheel, big airbag. A wee bit wood trim down the centre console there. And dashboard, let's take a wee look at dashboard. Right, let's take a wee look at this dashboard. What's that like? So typical, it's very much like the R8 dashboard, just a wee bit bigger. Very easy to read, big dials, rev counter, speedometer there and a few warning lights. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then moving around here, you can see all that lovely walnut trim. Not to everybody's taste, but yeah, I really like that kind of stuff. We've got original Rover radio cassette player as well. So that's nice that that's still in there. This one's fitted with aircon, got electric windows down there as well, and electric mirrors. And it looks like we do have an electric sunroof up there as well, which is pretty cool. Check the condition of these out. They're totally mint. It's great to see cars like this that are in this kind of condition. Let's take a wee look in the back, see what that's like. I mean, this as well, it's absolutely mint in the back. I mean, check the carpets out. Carpets and mats are immaculate. Wee armrest here in the middle. So this is definitely a nice place to sit. Enough legroom for a short man. And just the overall condition it's in. Manual windows here, which is fine, and cloth trim on the doors. But yeah, I really like this. Definitely seems like a more upmarket car than a Rover 600, but I think as these run-out models, they were spec'd up, and you can certainly tell in this one. Right, will we take it for a wee drive, see what it's like? Right, so let's see how this drives in. I've got high expectations with it being Honda engined. It should be really nice. Right. So, where do we start? Well, it's very, very smooth. There's not a lot of engine noise coming into the cabin, actually. Yeah, I mean, the gearbox in this is an absolute peach. It's very, very light. It's very, very accurate through the gears as well. So that's a pleasant surprise as well. Clutch is pretty light. Be interesting to know if that was an original clutch at 73,000 miles when it's as light as that. But yeah, those gears are beautiful. So a tick for transmission and clutch. Now engine, yeah, so being a Honda engined car, these things tend to deliver all their power at the top end of the rev range, which we won't really be able to experience in full today where we are. But yeah, second gear, yeah, certainly livens up above 4,000 revs. So yeah, it'd be interesting to get it out on the open road. It's not too bad bottom end. It's not like it has no power, it's just it gets that kick above 4,000. And then you can make some brisk progress once you get above that. But yeah, this is actually really nice, you know, steering, suspension. I guess these are probably set up to be a comfortable, refined drive rather than anything else. And we'll try that in first gear, see what that's like. I'll put our foot down on first. Yeah, definitely pull well above 4,000 revs. And the aircon's nice and cold as well, especially on a warm day like this. So all that extra equipment that this is fitted with, pretty handy. But yeah, what a relaxing car to drive. It'd certainly be nice to do motorway journeys in this one. The only thing it doesn't have is cruise control, but again, back in 1999, it wasn't standard to have cruise control in all the cars of this size. Switchgear looks similar to the R8 ones, quite skinny stocks there. I think it's definitely be a good mile muncher on the motorways, that's for sure. Seats are very comfy as well. It's a good driving position in them, certainly for me anyway. Suspension's very quiet, we're on a very rough piece of road at the moment as well. And there doesn't seem to be any knocks or bangs or clunks. And brakes, I'm guessing this will be ABS fitted as well. But yeah, what a nice drive. Right, let's look at conclusions then. Right, what are our conclusions on the Rover 600? Should we buy one and add it to the retro ratchet fleet?
Yes.
Right, what did you like about it the most?
The seats are nice.
The seats?
Leather.
Nice leather seats, and what else?
The dashboard has some nice wood.
Oh, the wood as well. Oh yeah, I mean, we're definitely getting a lot of thumbs up here for the Rover. Right, so what else do I think about it then? Well, it really just is a large 200, I guess, refined and a little bit more modern. Very comfy to drive, certainly with the R8s. There's a lot more road noise and they're a lot harsher than these, but this just looks like a nice big comfy cruiser. And this particular one, obviously fitted with the Honda engine, you would guess it's going to be reliable. Interior is beautiful as well. I really love the cream leather interior with the wood trim. Enough equipment in this one as well. And the condition, I mean, it's in great condition. It's a 1999 car. So I mean, it's hard to think that this is actually a 25-year-old car, and it's a Rover and it hasn't dissolved. So, no, thumbs up for that, and it's definitely one to consider adding into the retro ratchet fleet.